He's the type of guy who says this right now, and then he'll play 2K and call everything bullshit about the game.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
You're going to be listening to these frequencies that they give you, you know? And there's these guys sitting in studios working on frequencies that make you think different.
What's going on in the world, if you could just go home every day after your job and go live in the world that you want to live in, why would you give a fuck what's going on out there?
What's up, guys? This is Big Mike the Don on the Reverse the Universe podcast. Today we got episode 4, and I got two very, very special co-hosts. We got the Mizz.
Ooh, what's happening, y'all?
And we got Mr. T.
The introduction is nice, man. The introduction is nice.
So we're doing it one half of the crew today. As you know, Buddha, Mr. Trey Williams, and Marucci couldn't make it today. But it's all good. We do have Miz and Mr. T and your host, Big Mike the Don Dada, coming to you live the day after a snowstorm for some and a non-snowstorm for others.
No storm here, buddy. Well, we had a storm, but not no snow.
No snow. How about you, T? Well, you were here, right?
Yeah, it sounded like that wind was crazy. I never seen or actually heard sustained 50-mile-per-hour winds. It was definitely that last night.
Yeah, no, I was all over the state yesterday because, once again, for my job, I have to go all over. So I saw the snowstorm that you guys did not see. The snowstorm was actually fucking wild, bro. I was driving around doing 25 miles per hour on main roads, and I was still skidding out, and I couldn't see shit. It looked like a fucking blizzard.
Got to get better tires.
You ever heard of the little girl who cried wolf? She was outside of my house last night because that wolf was blowing my damn house down.
Oh, shit.
Coming for that treasure.
No, that wind was crazy last night. Like, literally, like the front table right here was lifted up against the garage, which is crazy. I mean, and it sounded, I was sitting up there like, you know, if it's my time, the roof comes off, I'm ready. Like, you know, like I'll hop in the shower or something. I don't know. Apparently those are safer, you know.
He said if it's my time, I'm ready to go over a fucking storm.
If you heard the storm, the wolf was outside my window.
I wouldn't know how that table didn't break out there.
I know.
It's
like
fake glass.
Tempered glass or whatever.
Yeah. But so like I said, it was kind of weird. Out here in Jersey, we get all different types of fucking situations.
So it all depends on where you are in Jersey,
right?
though, you know?
Right. Like I said, where I was at, more central Jersey, that shit was fucking wild, bro. That shit was kicking.
There's always a line with the weather here. One side gets the snow, the other side doesn't.
Exactly. What side are you on 995? You
Actually,
left or right?
I'm kind of happy because, I didn't have to shovel some snow today. So
right. I think also what it has to do is over here right now, we're more on the Jersey Shore. I think the salt air kind of makes it less likely for the snow.
Well, it's probably more of the ocean water temperature, still actually cooling off from the summer. So I don't think it's below 32 degrees yet. So if that wind comes off that, it's not going to snow here.
Yeah, pretty sure the water is still as warm as the air or warmer. So
yeah, it's still dropping. During the summer it gets up to probably 70, 80 degrees, and it's only been maybe 3-4 months since then. So
yeah, once you get into like February, January, like those months,
those are the months where the water's cold enough to sustain snow here. So
I will say though, I'm not a big fan of the snow. I hate the snow kind of, but in a way, the last few years out here in Jersey have not been very snowy at all.
No.
It was kind of nice to see snow finally again, and shut up all the global warming, we're never going to see snow again type thing. But I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy to see the snow. I don't like the work in the snow. I actually got today off, crazy enough. I didn't have to go nowhere. So it was beautiful. Got to enjoy the sight of the white on the ground.
You sound like a kid getting off of school,
I've always had a love-hate relationship with snow, though. Yeah. Like, I've always, I remember back when you would get a snow day, and, it was perfect white, you know what I mean? But, when you're a kid, you also don't really understand it. You're just, I'm home, and they're cooking me food, and, but, when you have a job to go to, and different things, stuff is different, so.
Right.
No matter how much snow was on the ground yesterday, if it snowed here, I would have had to go to work.
Exactly. So. That's what I'm saying. It all depends.
I would have thought differently of it if I had to actually go to work. But you brought up an actual really good point. If these kids today, actually, a lot of them did not get snow days because they're doing virtual school. So think of it this way. I was talking to my girl yesterday about it. How fucked up is it that kids in the future, if they continue this virtual schooling, will never actually experience a day of snow day. You know, when you were in school, what was the best day?
So let me
so deeper than that.
Oh yeah, let me go a little bit deeper with that. You know, colleges, right? If you talk about colleges and how you actually had to go to campus to have a learning. Recently, online classes have become a thing, and that's like where they want to go because it's a lot cheaper to educate and it's more economically friendly because you don't
charge you the same.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, that piece of paper you pay $1,000 for, but that's a different topic. But, you know, maybe this is something to come for the future. Like maybe colleges are going to be more virtual rather than, you know, come to our campus and learn on campus, you know?
Well, it's definitely bittersweet with that because you got to think of it this way. It does help like the single parents out there. And, you know, like people that can't really get to the classes and were only limited to online classes anyway. Because now what the schools are doing is now not only certain classes are online, all classes are online, which just proves they could have done it in the first place.
And it comes down to also like maybe we're starting to see the effects of, you know, how teachers are being treated in this country. You know, I hear a lot of backlash about how teachers are being treated unfairly. They don't get enough pay. And at the end of the day, it becomes, is it worth it to become a teacher? And I think there's less people becoming teachers.
But like kids need to go to school.
Yeah, it's also like, social.
Like,
yeah,
that's where you learn how to become an adult. Like that's where you learn everything, you know, wrong from right. Don't do, you know what I mean? You take that out of, you know, the normal everyday kid that lives wherever and they live in a home where the parents don't care or whatever, and then now they don't even have that outlet of going to school.
That's very true. There's always two sides to the story.
Like, and how are you a parent nowadays with, you know, the cost of living and everything, and make sure your kid sits on a computer and does work, like, you know what I mean? While like, and you have to teach the kid now.
You have to get like, babysitters to maybe watch them so you can go to work and make more money, you know?
Yeah, but how do you have time for that?
You can't. I mean, school is more than just learning. And I think people don't realize that.
It's social. It's all social, dude. You're in a classroom with a bunch of kids your age, and you're with people that are elderly, and, you know, like...
I mean, if you think about life is all about networking, and you start that in school. You know, as a kindergarten, you know, grade schooler, like you're going and you're making your network from the beginning.
Yeah, when you make your first friend, bro, that's your beginning of your network right there.
Shit, we're going to have a future full of fucking hermits.
Talk about hermits, you know, and that's a big thing with kids these days is also gaming, you know. Got Fortnite. I mean, some kids play Call of Duty no matter the age, you know. Definitely that's an indoor hobby, but you still get socialization off that. So, you know, that's the argument with gaming. It's like, is it really that bad to sit in front of the TV for that long? But you're still socializing with people. So it's technically you're going out of your house, but you're not going out of your house.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one to love gaming myself. Even though I'm not really that good at it, but in general terms, I mean, I fucking love it. But at the same time, I know it's bad for me. I mean, that's a lot of stuff we talk on here. I mean, we say a lot of things that we love to do that we know are not very good for us. But, you know, it's just good to know that, you know, not to be blinded by the shit, you know. But, like, when it comes to actual gaming itself, I think kids are getting a little too extreme with it.
Well, but like, look what esports has done for gaming. Right. Like, it took it and put it on a national level, and it's like, it's not even the esports, it's the YouTubers, the people on Twitch, Facebook that stream and make hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions, you know what I mean? So how are you going to tell a kid if that's like what he's good at? You know what I mean? That's like telling somebody that's really good at playing basketball when he's young, like, oh, you shouldn't do this. Like, you shouldn't do this.
Yeah,
it's the same but different.
Because at least basketball, you know, you're getting a little bit of physical.
Okay,
activity.
So it wasn't the best.
No, I know
analogy,
what you mean,
but like it's the same thing. Like, how are you gonna?
It's a game. At the end of the day, it's a game. Basketball's a game. Baseball's a game.
The reason why I play
a game.
Like the reason why I like come home and play video games over watching something, or it's because I'm like very competitive. So like I take pride in what I could do. So like that's like a craft of mine. Like, if I'm this good in Call of Duty, like that's me showing it. That's me. I'm proud of it. You know, I want people to see that. Right. And if that's what I'm good at, that's what I'm good at. You know what I mean? And it's not like I don't live my life around Call of Duty, but if there's something I'm good at and that relaxes me, it's Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Like, and how are you going to tell somebody, you know, that's going through getting bullied online or in school that you shouldn't go home and express yourself on a video game? Like, you know what I mean? With your two friends that you met from across the world that you really have a strong connection with.
Yeah, no, I can see
You know what I mean?
That's very true. And like, it's just how I was, the time when I was brought up, gaming was like, taboo, like if you stayed home and you gamed,
you're a weirdo.
You're a nerd, or you're a hermit crab, like
a hermit. The hermit.
Like it was like taboo. So it wasn't like the popular thing to do, But now, how big it's become with like streaming and people actually showing their personalities with the games, I think it blew it up. It's more of a it's a bigger thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a bigger thing. But the thing with it is, like we were talking about so many, and all the other casts, man, it's like, there's only a certain extent of time where people should really be sitting home on these games, like people take it to the extreme. Everything in moderation is good, but when you take it to the extreme and all you're doing is literally sitting home playing video games, it gets to the point where it's like, there's no social interaction. Like we were talking about virtual reality. Now, you don't have to be a virtual reality. You could be on the TV screen all day long. And then what are you really getting out of it other than, you're good at it. So like, even if you make it into a job, should you, do you work your job 24 hours a day?
Like, it's something that you would like to do.
Situational.
I would want a job that, I could do and enjoy doing,
Yeah. I would too.
It's hard to find a job that you can really like say, I'm going to wake up every morning, get up and enjoy my day. Like that's like impossible.
Yeah. Other than like if you're getting paid, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, cause people do it for the money, obviously.
Exactly.
But like,
but I felt like if I was, I had a big enough platform and I actually stayed home and streamed and made a living off gaming, I would probably enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, speaking on that topic, I have an idea, which, I always have crazy ideas. Everybody knows this. My whole thing is I kind of want to start, I want to take this reverse universe and turn it into a product, which I will call RTU Gaming, which is going to be, literally just streaming with, all 6 of
branches.
us. Yeah. I want to make it into a bunch of branches, I want to, because like I said, for me, my whole thing is I'm probably a really shitty fucking gamer.
No, you are.
I am. I'm shitty.
But I love playing with you.
Right. Because, you know, because you know what I mean? I bring the entertainment. So, like, like the funny part is when we're playing Call of Duty, we're playing Warzone, they're always fucking pinging out shit, bro. And I can never fucking find the pings, man. Like, they're like, oh, the supply box is right there. And I'm like, where, bro? It's on the ping. I'm like, where? I'm fucking looking all over the place. I'm doing circles. We were playing last night, and he's like...
But you're trying,
I am. Least. We were playing last night, and Mizz and Buddha, they were like, oh, the guy's right behind the wall. So I jumped over the wall, and I'm shooting my own teammate because I didn't even realize.
I already killed him. Yeah.
Right, you already killed him, and I'm just shooting Mizz after he killed him.
That goes all through with experience. You just got to play the game. It's anything. The more reps you get, you're going to get better. Like, practice is everything.
It's questionable, though. I've been playing Call of Duty for a long time, since like the first
people
Call
don't
of Duty.
mess around with like Warzone how it is today. There are people that are like savages, bro. Like I'm talking like that. Like if you get into a lobby with them, they're gonna make you look stupid as shit.
So basically you're telling me if you didn't put your mind to it, you couldn't do it. If you went 100% focused and you learned the ins and outs of the map, you learned how to communicate in game, you would still suck. That's what you're saying?
I just don't think Warzone's his game.
No.
He's like really good at like the do or die, like the Brawlhalla. Like he's good at that shit. But
I'm saying like just because you're not good at it doesn't mean you can't
be good.
No, it's not even about wanting to be good. It's really just like games like that, like Call of Duty. It comes to the point where like, I don't know, like I play so much and I'm always trying, and even Cold War or whatever, when we're just playing multiplayer, it's like, I don't fucking get it. I've played so much multiplayer in my life. And all you guys always are fucking killing it. And I'm like, fuck, I could barely get over one half the time. One KO.
Well, I mean, it's
hard. You will.
Hard.
Just I would say, think about it as I will get there.
That's right. I've been saying this since fucking 2000.
And that's the thing with gaming, bro. Like, I play Warzone, right? I play it a lot. And like, so like I could play with people that I know I'm going to probably win with 6 out of 10 times. And like, I know them, like we only like I know them from playing, you know, one's Saunders, one's Craig, one's the other, you know, there's a couple other. Yeah. But when I play with like you, my boys, it's fun. It's not it's I could have fun with the game. Whereas sometimes I play like I'm actually in the game, bro. Like that life, you know what I mean? Like, and we're all on the same page. But when I play with you, it's a whole different feeling, and it's like it's fun. You know what I mean? Like it's such a different feeling.
Right. It's not about winning per se. Like, yeah, I always want to win. I
of
mean,
course.
we came in what, second last night?
Yeah,
that was pretty dope. I think that's the highest I've ever done.
I love watching Big Mike, like when he comes on my viewer and he's like, "Oh, he's running, Mizz is going, he's going."
I mean, there was one night we were playing together, and it was just you left, and you had a pistol, and you almost won it.
I know. I almost. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I came in like 4th or something like that.
But like, I love seeing you guys get better too. You know, like.
But my way of winning is I just fucking hide. I'm waiting for.
And then you got 2K and shit, and like where I suck at, where like I could shoot.
Yeah, but you're like, weird, bro. Like I feel like you're good at 2K, and then some points you suck. I don't understand that.
Because like, I never played basketball like that, bro. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I understand it.
Well, you were nice for a point.
I also can't control it. Like once you start going into plays and shit, like. I just lose it and I get frustrated. I'll throw it to the wing, gets fucking intercepted, you know. Like,
I mean, but basketball is a game about rhythm, you know, and I feel like rhythm
2K rhythm is...
There is a 2K
go
rhythm.
To hell.
There is a rhythm thing.
Go to hell, Ronnie.
I mean, you could literally, if you're in rhythm and you're taking open shots and you're hitting...
Well, no, because we were playing and
you get 7 greens in a row.
I'm like, oh, this feels so good on PS5. I've never felt a 2K like this.
Oh, it felt amazing.
3 minutes later, I'm like, it's the same fucking game.
No, it's
Fuck
not,
this shit.
There's no way.
No.
There's no way. And the last podcast...
It does feel really good, though.
I think I said, you know, that PS5 wasn't a big difference. I had never actually played on the PS5. Mm-hmm. Visually, I will say, I mean, it looks good, and yes,
smoother.
It looks better, smoother.
Yeah.
But the gameplay, holy fuck, I really felt so smooth when I was playing 2K.
You can actually control your player.
Right. When I was playing it, it felt like I was moving like I want to move. Not like the fucking generated moves they fucking give you. You know, and it was something special. I can't wait to get my PS5. I've been waiting for that shit to come.
That goes back to like them changing the parties though, and like when you talk about the bullying online, like how a kid killed himself though because of something some kid said in a party. Because you used to be able to just join parties. You know what I mean? It used to be way different.
As long
now
as it was public.
Now I hate it because I gotta send a message before I freaking do it, and you know what
it's
I
like
mean?
going through the FBI headquarters just to get to a party. You know? you gotta get invited first. You gotta accept it, and then sometimes I think pretty soon it's gonna be like all party members want this member in the party.
Right.
You know, like that's how I feel like where it's going to. You know?
Well, that's where like like what's his name, Ryan, like got banned for saying like something stupid. You know what I mean?
But
like it's something as silly as that where you like the PlayStation's like, no, we're taking your account for a week. Like you can't go on your PlayStation for a week.
Yeah, I mean, if you got reported, everything gets investigated. You know. I mean, but I think it's not a bad thing though because
I don't either.
You know what it is too, and it comes down to online bullying. Like that's a thing. You know, because if PlayStation was like, oh, we're not going to change our ways after that kid killed himself, like who's the bad guy at the end of the day? Is it the person that made
a change after that?
Made the comments, or the people that are allowing it to happen? You know,
bullshit. You know why? Because that was an outlier event. How many kids really did that ever happen to?
I feel like it happens.
It only
to
takes
a lot
one
of
though.
kids.
That's one life. One life is
one life. Yes, I understand, but you can't blame the platform for somebody.
There's some
doing
toxic ass little kids in this world now, bro.
I know.
That are like way more toxic than we grew up.
Mute them motherfuckers. I don't want to hear none of them little bitches.
Yeah, I know. Like
you can't talk about kids like that. Let's go.
Well, no,
I would mute them too. Like I would mute them too.
But mentally, that's what I'm thinking too.
Right.
I
just say.
I'm not gonna say it out loud. But
I say it out loud. I don't really give a fuck. But either way, the fucking new platform that they have for the whole fucking party system.
For us, because we're older,
it's so stupid.
We're adults, you know what I mean?
I just learned that, like, they save the people that are in parties, like, in your messages.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, everything's saved. Everything's saved.
Right. Every time I turn my PlayStation on, this kid's, I guess he sent me a thing one time, and it sends me every time. I guess he's always on, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to.
Me too. I can pull it probably on my phone right now. I guarantee there's something from PlayStation. Yes, there is. And it's somebody who I don't even know is in a party that I was once in, a week and a half ago.
You can leave that party though. They allow you to leave if you leave.
Well, it's just confusing to me. It's so confusing because I like the fact that I have a party in there that has like you, Miz,
Mm-hmm.
Buddha, Marucci, like the whole reverse the universe crew in one party that I can just send an invite so anybody can just hop on in.
I get what you're saying.
But it's
But at the same time, like there's times where you're not on and I know you get it to your phone. So I won't do the one with you because I don't want to like bother you and like make you think that like, oh, I want, you can come on, but like, I don't know. When it notifies you like that, it's different.
But then you have a whole bunch of sectors in your messages. You got one, I can have one with just T and Buddha. I can have one with Buddha and Marucci. I can have one with you. It's like, oh, I got to go back and find it, or I got to keep making new parties. Because like I said, it doesn't just like save. Like every single thing you do gets saved. My question is, with what happened to Ryan, did somebody report him?
Yeah,
obviously.
somebody reported
Okay, I was
him.
going to say, it would be a little scary if PlayStation just was like, pulled the plug.
Well,
on
no,
us.
Somebody definitely reported him.
Well, somebody messaged him from what I know.
And then he messaged him
and
back.
then he messaged back and said like, not even like, well, it's bad. It is bad.
I'm not going to say what he
I'm
said.
not going to
but-
say it, but like it's something you shouldn't call a person.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
I have
like,
an idea of what he said.
and it wasn't like a racial thing either. It was more like
it just shows like if you get reported,
they're
they
gonna
are
take
they
action.
are going to take action.
And if it happens again, they'll probably yank you for good.
I think it's like a warning system. I know if it's your first time, you get 7 days. The next time will probably be a month, and then after that is full account.
It's
So you just can't play online.
no, you can't. But everything's online now. So like, what are you playing?
But you
Like
can
you couldn't even sign in. He couldn't even sign to his
He couldn't even
PlayStation
go
to
into the
watch
account.
YouTube or anything like that.
really.
It was just the whole account was locked. If you wanted to go on, he had to make a whole new account.
Because it's like Netflix, PlayStation. Like you pick a user, so
Right.
it wouldn't even let him into the user.
Wow, that's fucking weird.
Well,
I mean, like I said, he probably deserved it, but shit, that's a good thing.
I
I think they're stepping up.
Well,
in that.
I mean, for
I
that,
mean,
I
for-
feel like that wasn't used in the right context. Like how he he shouldn't have got banned over that.
I don't think it was.
What happened
I don't
to
think it
Warner?
warranted 7 days.
No, it should have been like
24
dude, you say this
hours,
again,
and then
but
7
like-
days was a little excessive for that.
yeah.
they should have a. I mean, they should at least send you a warning first. You know what I mean,
Yeah, you pay a
So
lot of
what?
money to that company,
Mhm.
bro, and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the companies that all the games and stuff. That's a lot of you.
well,
mean,
all that small print they give you. That's where it
The
says
terms of
stuff.
service, you
Yeah.
gotta read those.
Did you read
The
it
answer
says-
to that is don't message anybody.
That's what I'm
don't
saying.
say
I would
anything
never
to anybody you don't
I'm
know.
never
I
gonna
don't
say
really fuck
anything.
with anybody on there anyway.
I don't either.
I can mess around with my friends, but other than that, that's all I'll do.
I get messages like sometimes like we're playing Brawlhalla. I find Brawlhalla does that a lot. Like I'll play Brawlhalla.
Well, that's like
and-
do or die too. When like
right.
that dude
What was his
came in.
name? What was
Oh,
his-
I hated that guy.
Microphone Black
Mike.
hoodie or something.
Oh yeah.
It was something weird, but that dude was just he was cheesing on that game.
Yeah, he was like,
cheesing like a motherfucker on that game. I don't know who that dude was. Afro Black hoodies, whatever his name was, but he kept trying to jump in our game.
yeah,
We're
no,
playing Move or Die, which I suggest everybody get it because
it's a good
like,
game.
Yeah, it's like little mini games, like kind of like Mario Party, but it's like you just play a bunch of them. But yeah, that dude it was weird though. The dude just kept jumping in, and then he'd come in, he was killing it too. I was like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, no, you had like somebody had 30 points and it's like 50 or 60 to win, and he like caught right up like within like a couple rounds, and I was
Right.
like, what the hell, bro? Like,
All he
go
does is
home.
play Move or Die.
And speaking of going home, I had to stop at Exxon, on the way for some essentials. I'm not gonna get into it, but I was inside, about to, in line, and I felt weird, and I'm like, why the fuck do I feel so weird right now? And then this is actually how I realized I'm looking at the reflection in the glass, and I see myself with no mask.
Oh shit.
So literally, like, I'm programmed already from this past year
Right.
to feel weird without having a mask in public. Like my natural instinct was feeling weird, and it was such a natural thing for me to be standing there without a mask, but I felt weird, and that freaked me the hell out, bro, because I was sitting there, and then like even before you're like, oh, you didn't have a mask on, like, and they actually weren't wearing masks either, but like that's not the point. Like the point is like I felt like I felt estranged, like
So-
not having it.
So you bring up a good point, because I was thinking like with mask, it does stop you from getting things, right? It's like a lot of protection, but is that something, that we need, like if you think about it, there could be people that have been exposed to COVID and their body just fights it off from the rip, and you have, your immune
possible.
system can fight that. So basically, with the mask, it makes it seem like COVID is 100% transmission. You know,
right? It's
mostly
confusing. It's confusing
it does.
to me. It's really confusing to me because, like Miz said, like it's become such a fucking norm to wear a mask, and it's like before this whole thing happened, when would you ever go into a store with a mask? Most places, if you did that, they'd probably kick you out because it's fucking weird, And going into your point, T, like how effective is it? I don't fucking know, man.
Who knows?
This whole thing is so confusing. I know it's very deadly, and as we were talking in episode 3, it's like, I just feel like it's so politicized, or maybe that was episode 1, I don't remember. But either way, it's so politicized. It's like, they make it so into this thing where they want to control people. And all these governors are getting in trouble now because they're telling people don't go into places without masks and don't be in big groups. And guess what? They're all getting in trouble because they're going to places in big groups.
The thing that confuses me the most is that it mutates. So this virus mutates.
Right.
So how the fuck does anyone know what the hell's going on?
They don't. I mean, but you have
but how are you creating okay, so this gets into a whole other thing. How are you creating a vaccine for a mutating fucking virus?
It's
science, you have to have a baseline for something.
I understand that too, but
and to me though, like and masks, it does help. It does bring down the rate of transmission. And like I said before, like you can get it and your body fights it off, but I mean, you could probably still pass it on to somebody else.
But why are we still wearing masks? Like, why do some people not have to wear it and some people do? Why are people in the NFL running around with no masks, breathing, coughing all over each other, but the people on the sidelines are wearing masks?
They're getting tested every other day.
Okay.
I mean, it's confusing, though. It really is, because it's like you go into a store, you got to wear a mask, and God knows who's in that store, what they have, and a lot of the times people don't even have symptoms. I think, what is the percentage? Less than 99.9% of people actually die.
Well, masks are a form of slavery. Like on a group of people, like a mass civilization, like that they're slaves. That's a way of recognizing that they are. Like the sheep. They
kind
are
of like don't speak.
Correct.
So you have a mask on.
So that's a whole different thing of it too. Like, I mean, it's crazy when you get into the whole mask thing, because if you look into the pandemics beforehand, like the bird flu or whatever, the one back in the day, they made people wear masks, but from people wearing masks, they created bacterial pneumonia, which killed hundreds of thousands of people because people were breathing in their own fucking germs or whatever.
Yeah, that's one thing I've always thought about. You're like, oxygen deprivation is a real thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially for people with like asthma and like, I mean, even,
Right.
But people are putting out videos where it doesn't really affect that,
No, I don't know, man. I feel like if you have that mask on and you're breathing back in all that, CO2 that comes out, and you're breathing a lot of that back in, I feel like that's really bad for your system. Once again, I'm not a scientist.
It's also about what mask you're wearing. Are you wearing new masks every time? Are you wearing
the same old mask every time?
Correct.
Yeah,
I wear the gator. I got it on my neck right now. Literally, I got this gator thing.
Apparently, those aren't as good.
No, apparently they suck.
Cloth is not that good.
I've gone to people's homes and they've literally told me I can't come in unless I have a regular mask on, because they're like, "Oh, that gator thing that doesn't work."
Yeah, but you got to think they're older, man. They're scared. They don't know what's going on either.
I mean, it's rough, man. I get it for people that have really compromised immune systems and for the elderly, It
does make sense. It does.
The weird thing about it is kids don't really get, and that's the thing. Kids don't really get affected by it. But I feel like kids don't have the best immune systems because they're
still growing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're still growing. So
I mean, when you think about school, right? Kids may not get it. But again, this virus is something that you can have and you can pass on to other people and you don't feel sick.
See, that's what always worried me. It wasn't about me.
Yeah, exactly.
It was about me giving it to someone that I cared about that wasn't, as healthy or as young as me. Well, I didn't worry about getting it, but that's why our age group is the highest fucking rate for COVID, because our age group just goes out and does what they do. But until you go to your aunt's house or your grandma's or whatever, that's when shit changes.
Right, that's the part that fucks it up.
Is
when you infect somebody, as innocent as it is, you infect somebody who's very, highly susceptible to other illnesses or has other illnesses, and then they wind up either getting super sick and ultimately possibly passing, which is that's rough because you're you kind of be the blame for that, but at the same time it's like it's so confusing to know when and where it's okay. Like when this whole thing first started, my grandmother wouldn't let me pass the opening in the garage to their house, and now I go in and stuff like that. But, I feel like that's because people have become a little bit over it, because I think people are getting more knowledgeable and it's a little bit politicized.
I mean, this is since March, so this is 9 months now, and when you were talking about how normalized mask wearing it is. I mean, we've been doing this for 9 months now, so it is becoming normal.
Yeah.
But do you remember the first time you went out?
It wasn't normal. It wasn't normal. But then, over time, it's just like, okay, I got to wear a mask before I go to the store. I'll put the mask on and go to the store.
I remember when I first went out to like Target, though, like everything was real crazy. Like people were acting real weird. Now I'll go to ShopRite and there's like a 90-year-old lady like picking apples. Like next to everyone, like, oh, you want to sneeze on me, young man? Right. And it's like, I'm like, what the? So it's like people are just like, you know what? Fuck it.
I'm sorry.
Like if I, like I literally feel like that.
I feel the same way because you got to think of it this way: these 80-year-olds, late 70s, 90-year-olds, taking a year away from your life because of a disease could be the last year of your life. You don't fucking know.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like,
I mean, you're telling the elderly humans to stay home, don't go out because it's dangerous. I mean, if you tell somebody to stay in their house 24/7 because you might get something, doesn't that make you that changes your mental aspect?
Right.
You're stuck. You're in jail in your own house. Like,
and it also doesn't give you like the natural elements of life, like going out and getting natural antibodies that
like breathing the fresh air,
normal germ. It's
actually walking around and doing physical activity,
getting
like
vitamin D.
You're gonna degrade faster.
Yeah.
It's sad to see.
Well, that's what the world's coming to.
Very sad to see.
The world's coming to, and this is where the politicized comes in for me. I feel like they're doing this because this is a form of control.
How much can you protect somebody?
Right. At the end of the day, everyone's gonna have their free will to do what they need to do. Especially in America, where this is what we're based on, is the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want to an extent. It's like, we're not in a country that's controlled by a dictator. This is a free country. So
until you go into quarantine and your governor and mayor tells you everything you can do.
Right. Has anybody ever heard of an executive order before this?
I mean, it doesn't.
Before, but I've seen so many executive orders be signed in this country in a matter of 9 months. So you're telling me a governor in any state can make a law or any law that they wanted, and if they sign it as an executive order, the police have the right to arrest you if you don't follow it.
Right.
But
California actually, they I believe they had a bill that was revoked because the people stood up and was like, this is just complete bullshit. So they actually passed something that was an executive order that actually got reversed, which is good. And I think more people should. This is where the revolution needs to start, is us people standing up and being like, listen, we don't live in a country like that. We need to really step and join together and,
and the fact that that power can be abused. Like if it retains COVID information and COVID restrictions, I get it. But when you start to, stray away from the COVID in general and make rules, like just because there's COVID doesn't mean businesses have to close at a certain time.
Right.
Like if everybody's wearing a mask and everybody's trying to do their due diligence to stay safe, why are we closing stores at 9? Or why are we closing restaurants early?
What are other countries' numbers for COVID rate? Like right now, honestly, like I don't even know the numbers.
No,
like to be honest,
they're not.
But I know it's not like it is here.
No.
And when you tell a population, that's how this country is. It's we're free, but people rely on like those sources, like there's generations, like the generation above us, is newspapers and all that, and like they watch the news daily, my man.
Right.
Like, they get fed the bullshit daily.
Yeah.
I can tell you, it's the way of life of an American in a capitalistic society. where you have to leave your house to make your life.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially if they're not going to be helping you. You see the new thing they have, the stimulus check is only going to be like $600.
So you can so basically you bring up a good point there too. Like you can restrict me from doing all the things I need to do to live my life to the fullest, but yet you can't help me.
Right.
Well, they're just hurting everyone besides the big dogs.
Exactly.
That's all it is at this point. I mean,
this is the government we have. It's like, I'm totally for capitalism to an extent.
Yes, capitalism is a great, ideology when it comes down to
but,
you make your own ideas and you can make money off it.
But I feel like there's some social things that need to be incorporated with it. It's like for something like this, we go into a pandemic and everybody wants to make rules where you can't live and you have to, your rent, you might get it, postponed, but it's still going to come due. You're going to have that big bill, that big bill coming in, or, all these other bills that you might not be paying right now. And then they give you $1,200 in the beginning and they're like, okay, that'll give you, what is $1,200? You know what I mean? Sometimes some people, that's one paycheck.
Shit, man.
That's one paycheck they get is $1,200. So you give them that for 9 months, and now they're going to tell us, oh, we're going to give you $600-$700. Oh, whoopee! What the fuck is that going to do for me? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but that's a whole. It was almost like an experiment. Like look at all the people on unemployment.
Yeah.
That were through the roof, so excited. That's what they want.
They were killing.
They'll give people $30,000 a year to control them.
Right.
They have full control over you at that point. They're paying you every check. So it's like, oh, you're this satisfied with sitting home and doing nothing and us paying you just to get by? Oh, we'll do that, but now we control you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like that's a whole nother outlook on it to where they're thinking above that shit.
But there's jobs out there and people aren't seeing it.
Yeah. No, I mean, my job is going to people's homes. Like if I can't go to people's homes, I don't work. Well, I can't do nothing. There's no at home for an HVAC tech. Like if I'm at home, like I can what people are gonna call me. I'm gonna tell them what to do. Like that doesn't work.
No,
it doesn't.
You have to be there.
I have to be there.
All the trades are still going on right now.
Right, and the trades have never stopped.
Unless the system entirely crashes and like shit goes to rubble, that's the only.
Well, the infrastructure is built off of trade, so I mean, you're gonna have to, that's a job that's not gonna go away.
Like if people's systems need to be checked, they need to be maintained, they need to be fixed, and everything like that. And you as much as you don't realize it, like an HVAC system is huge in your house. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to, which is kind of the COVID point, indoor air quality.
Yes.
And I'll tell you right now, I was never really a big believer in it before because, we do sell a lot of indoor air quality products. But I'll tell you, getting something for your home is huge. You really should.
Oh, I know. I've been to your crib. I walked into your house. I felt like I walked into God of War, like the secret layer. There's a little waterfalls with mist coming up.
I got air purifiers out there.
It's got 15 robot freaking vacuum cleaners. Like,
you think Big Mike gonna be vacuuming? Fuck you. That's really how I feel. But indoor air quality is huge. You want to get something like a UV light. Or you want to get even just a simple, HEPA filter, they have, just something to help clean up the air a little bit because there's so many nasty shit in the air. Not even COVID, actually. Like, just in general, bacteria, viruses.
Dust. I hate dust, bro.
It's annoying,
Dust kills me.
Yeah, it's fun. And people don't realize, the thing I always tell people is you don't feel uncomfortable until you don't realize you're uncomfortable until you're actually comfortable to realize how you were uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. That's like when you got like a really stuffy nose, you can't breathe.
Right.
And you're like, I would do anything to goddamn breathe right now.
Right.
You take it for granted. It's so like everything
like
we do.
Is good. But it's also good for COVID. Like the one product we have, and I'm not going to make this into like a commercial, but the one product we have is actually only UV, filtration system that is 99.9% effective against COVID-19.
I just don't trust it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it, but this is like a big company, and like I said, they could be pushing bullshit. Who the fuck
and there's
knows?
nothing anybody could tell me to think otherwise. I've always been weird with vaccines, like always.
Oh, vaccines, yeah.
Just in general, like I've always been weird. Like I never was until I actually thought about it when I got older.
Yeah.
And I thought about what, they're putting into, our
That's
youth.
true. But you can't be.
But no, I'm not critical. No, I'm not. And I think I don't think the vaccines are even bad. I just think that certain vaccines react differently with certain DNAs. Yeah. If your DNA doesn't match that vaccine, you're going to get something, like your child might die as an infant, or it's going to get, that shit happens on the regular. You know what I mean? Like, so like when you got to like, I don't know. I
actually heard though, in this COVID vaccine, COVID's not actually in the vaccine.
Well, no, it's changing your DNA ultimately. It's an RNA vaccine, so it changes it to manipulate your body to create antibodies to fight COVID when it thinks you have COVID, but you really don't.
Yeah, and
that's what I've heard. I mean, I don't know how.
It makes it that it just helps you fight it off much better. But the one weird thing that I was actually online, and listen, you can't listen to everything you see online, obviously. But the one was that, this vaccine, apparently people are getting partial face paralysis from it, where, like they can't, and then I've seen pictures of people where like they look like they just had a stroke.
That's scary.
It is scary. And that's the thing about vaccines that I understand. I'm not going to jump in line and be like, hey, I'm number one, I want the vaccine. I want to see what the fuck happens.
Well, the guy from Pfizer, the guy that retired, like the head up, he said, like, don't try to have kids if you take it within 2 months, and it can ultimately alter your, you might not be able to have babies as a female taking it. Like, literally, that would be the ultimate population control. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what he said. I mean, I don't know what the hell is true and what's not.
I know it's hard.
It's hard to think and then if you really know.
And then there was also like I saw on like it was Facebook or something where there was a picture of like a mother, well not a mother, she was a pregnant lady like in a hospital, and they like had a picture of a nurse like putting a needle like in her arm. It wasn't even in it, and she wrote a whole post saying like to trust everything, and like it was almost like. It was just like
who knows what they really got.
It was just a ploy to like make it like to make other people that were pregnant or mothers feel okay with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It wasn't even like that lady did it. It was just like a push to the.
I just hope that it stays a choice.
Exactly.
It depends. It will be a choice. I feel like unless it might.
There are vaccines that you're mandatorily have to take,
but it will probably interrupt with your work. What you do for a living, what do you do for a living, where you might be regulated to have to take that vaccine.
I could see that,
but
this is something brand new. Like
I think it will still be a choice.
The flu vaccine has been around for how long now? So you can make an easier decision than taking that.
You can't.
But now you're telling me or anybody take this vaccine now, and it's only been a year.
You have to tranquilize me and like seduce me and like. My guy, I ain't taking no fucking.
Well, they usually say it takes 4 years to make an actual vaccine.
They haven't done tests. Well, they haven't done like animal testing and all that, bro.
You're normalizing something without the facts behind it first, and that's the scary part.
Scary. I mean,
are we all lab rats right now? Are we all?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
we're all basically lab rats.
Well, that's how I feel. I feel that's how they look at us. They look at us like. It's fucked up, man. Like, they want to talk about how they care about us, and this is like the government and stuff like that. But honestly, it's an individual basis. I feel like people just don't give a fuck about
You think
people.
the high ups are thinking about us? You think the person you just elected for president's thinking about us?
Absolutely Everything not. Is a statistic.
It's right. It doesn't
This
matter.
election was a statistic.
All of it.
You target your demographic, as they say, for marketing profitability. And that's in anything. That's in if you want to, have a podcast or anything, you're going to target an audience. And that's what it comes down to. Right. Politicians, you're just going to target an audience where you could have more votes to somebody else.
Push an agenda. That's like anything.
Well, this I will say this to you. I know you said podcast, but this podcast really has no agenda at all. And I mean that fully.
I was just saying, because we're doing a podcast right now, but I mean, in terms of marketing, that's like the rule number one of marketing. It's like, who is your target audience?
Yeah. I want anyone, because obviously
our
talk.
Our target audience is we're going to try to captivate everybody's minds. We're going to talk
18 and above, though. 18 and above.
Yeah.
If you're under 18, you probably shouldn't listen to this show.
So there's our target audience.
There it
right
is.
now.
18 to 100.
Age. It's an age thing.
Exactly. But speaking also on the vaccine, because the vaccine is so interesting to me. Like I said, the 4 years it takes to make a vaccine, we did it in under a year. It's kind of like, it's really scary how they're trying to push this out there, that it's so good and everything's so grand, and don't worry about it. Like,
why in the fuck would I take it if I haven't had it?
Exactly.
Why?
Right.
I don't know.
Then they say, how about like polio? Like, you got the polio thing, so you didn't get polio. And like I said, I'm fully for vaccines. Like, I think vaccines are good when they're properly done.
I feel like it just doesn't apply to me at my age right now. Like, it doesn't, like, it should, like, if you're older, maybe, I don't know. But, like, right now, that doesn't apply to me.
I think they should wait and get this shit right, so the next generation of kids, this can be just like a vaccine they get.
Yeah, I'm not putting no bullshit fucking vaccine.
But how do you speed that process up?
You don't.
I
don't want to speed it up.
This is how you speed it up.
How?
Because if they make this vaccine worldwide available, you get to test. You literally are testing all of it on every demographic. Before, you had to, get quality control, get people to sign up. You might have not had the statistics that you need, but now, this is what takes the 4 years.
Right.
They made it now, and we all are testing it as an experiment.
But the virus is changing as they're fucking trying to fucking make a vaccine.
Right. I mean, but you still have to get the baseline. You have to get the baseline.
We have so many, but the thing about it is there's so many different things that you read out there. It's like, holy fuck, man. You read one thing about how the vaccine, and it's so convincing, and they got all these facts, and then you read another thing that has a whole other set of facts, and you're like, what's the fucking truth? I feel like facts aren't the truth anymore. It's like you can just spew out a bunch of shit and be like, listen, this is why you should take it.
It comes down to the theory again with this virus, too. Like, one person can get the virus and not have any symptoms, and then one person, you could be in a hospital for 2 weeks.
Right.
See, it's real. I think the virus is very real.
100%.
It's literally just the system milking it. It's the government milking it. I think it's real. I think it has killed a lot of people.
Absolutely.
But they're milking the fuck out of it, bro. Yeah. For every last fucking drop of milk.
Right.
Literally.
and especially now, because like usually viruses like that, they get concealed to one part of the world. This is worldwide.
Yeah.
It affected every country.
Well, yeah, you ask anybody a year ago if you thought we'd be wearing masks in 3 months. No, I wouldn't either.
Hell no. I still hate wearing the fucking mask.
Yeah, it should.
I wish, I cannot wait until we're in a world again that I can literally fucking go to a store and not wear a mask and like talk to people, because it kind of kills the we're talking about slavery. It kills the in-person effect when you're talking to somebody with a mask on.
You lose
like you're
facial expressions.
Okay, so when you bring that up, it makes me think. Like, you think once they have a vaccine, it's all going to stop?
Not right away.
You think people might still wear masks for the rest of their lives after this?
They're the fucking cornball.
There's at least more than half of this country that's not going to take that vaccine.
If this country becomes China, and where people are wearing masks, because they still wear masks, but the thing about people say Chinese people wear masks, the reason why they wear masks is not because of diseases and viruses. They wear it because they have terrible air pollution.
Yeah, I was gonna say it comes out of air pollution.
Right.
It's not about disease or anything.
Unless you're driving through fucking Newark.
California.
Past that dump.
California has terrible air quality. Just
let them wear masks. I don't live in California.
If you're in the desert, it's going to be terrible air quality because there's so much dust in the sky.
Right.
It's just, again, I don't think this is ever going to be over.
Not for a while.
We talk about 9 months of literally psychologically messing around with people's minds. People 5 or 10 years from now might look at somebody if they don't have a mask on wrong.
Right. If I made a free bet, I'd say we would go back to normal in 2024. I feel like this is
what is normal though. Well,
no masks. Like fucking being able to go and because even still
it
today,
might never be normal again.
It's not even okay to have a pickup game of basketball outside. Like if people do it, you look at it now. Like people are doing it more and more, and people are kind of like, fuck this shit. Like my girl's grandmother is the same way. Like when this first thing started, she was very like, didn't want to have anything like this and that and social distancing and stuff. And now, like, she'll come over, she'll give me a hug. Like, it's kind of like, oh, fuck this.
But that's where like where we live, the United States of America, gets really fucking weird. Because I just recently, went down to Florida with my mom to help her move with my niece. And you drive through the states. Mm-hmm. You drive through the whole East Coast down the fucking line. I went from Maryland, where you got signs, up to Wahoo to wear your mask. And then you go into Georgia, and you got people in the freaking, at a truck stop dealing with hundreds of truckers by the hour. Yeah. Not wearing masks with no plexiglass. Yeah.
And in Florida, you were in Florida, and Florida has no regulations.
Correct, unless you're inside. You have to wear one inside, but if you're outside, you're at a restaurant outside, it's up to you. Yeah. They leave it in your hands, where you're in here or wherever, and you saw a worker not wearing a mask at a place like that. It was a big truck stop. Yeah. I forget what the hell it was called. And I was like, what the fuck? And, there's normal people too, even at the airports, Tampa Airport. Yeah. There's bag checkers with no mask, just walking around whistling. I'm like, you all right? You know what I mean? I'm kind of tripped out. I'm getting on a plane. The plane really bugged me out. I ain't gonna lie, because that air stays in the plane with everyone. It circulates. So
that's kind of crazy.
And it was a full fucking plane, bro. And I'm like, I had 2 masks on.
Really?
Dead ass.
You were that paranoid on the plane?
I didn't like it, bro.
Question of the day, though. Did you get COVID?
No, I didn't. But is that because I wore 2 masks? Or is that because
you drove through how many states and you took a plane flight back?
But I
also, and you didn't get COVID.
I also wasn't stupid with it. I also wasn't going outside of my you know what I mean?
But that's what I'm trying to get to. It just shows
when I went through,
we really need all this right now.
When I went through big groups, I wore a mask. I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't conjugate with people really. So
I get it.
I think it's more of an overprotective thing than anything.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to scare you a little bit more.
I mean,
it's real, but
as being a leader, this should scare you.
Yeah, I mean, it should.
Well, when you're on a plane and there's some dude named Harry snoring with his mask down, spitting goobas out of his nose, and the freaking air is circulating. I'm like, dude, I don't want to be on this plane no more. Get me the fuck off this plane.
It's definitely going to hurt the airline industry.
Well, I feel like it has, but it hasn't, because it also lowered prices.
Well, that's why the prices are lower, because it's hurting
the plane was full.
The airline industry.
Right. That was a whole nother thing, bro. I met some guy dude, Mike, I never even told you. He reminded me so much of you.
Really?
It was crazy. So I have an aisle seat, right? Uh-huh. I'm probably by the wing. It was midway, G or something. I'm on the aisle. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden these kids walk on. Not kids, guys. And they walk right to my aisle, and they look at me. Oh, you're in my seat. And I'm like, oh, no, this is I'm on the aisle. I know for a fact I'm on the aisle.
Yeah.
And so they literally 2 30-year-old men sitting next to me, one the size of you, probably bigger, and another kid. Ended up bullshitting with him. They're from AC. Really cool. His name was Petey Swag, bro.
Petey Swag.
Shout out Petey Swag from fucking AC, man. Long story short, the guy fucking buying me shooters on the plane, bro. Wow. Cool as hell. You know what I mean? But it was just so crazy that even on a plane with COVID going on, wearing masks, you still meet somebody and it's genuine and it's not fucking whatever the fuck the people want you to fucking think of it.
Good people.
It was exactly, and it was so weird because you're on a plane. I was on a plane by myself, man. And I actually saw them in the lobby, and I'm like, look at these 2 fucking, you know what I mean? I'm like, right. I saw them causing a scene, whatever they were doing, you know what I mean? And I'm like, of course they're sitting next to me. You know what I mean? It was just it was crazy. But then you go into the mask shit, and you do what you're told almost, but then when you look over and see people snoring without a mask on, literally 3 feet away, I'm like, bro,
I'm not wearing masks?
They were, yeah.
They were?
They were. The 2 guys,
you guys were all talking about wearing masks.
Correct. I actually have his number, dude. We actually exchanged numbers. He told me if I was ever in it. Bro, he was showing me videos in AC with Trey Songz and stuff, bro.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they were doing some weird stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm with it.
But, to take the shooters, obviously, he put the mask
he bought, correct, yeah. Okay. But, he bought all the shooters from the fucking stewardess. Wow. I'm like, bro, this guy was dropping bread. I'm like, bro. And he just turned around. He's like, hey. Threw me a shooter. I'm like, salud. You know, I'm freaking.
You got that AC money.
I'm like, this COVID ain't so bad after the shooter. You know what I mean?
But that brings into another point. You were around these people. Everything worked out fine. Everything's good. But now we're coming up into the holiday season. We're going into Christmas as I'm looking at, the nice tree Mizz and T have at their house right now.
Tree with lights?
It's got lights.
It does. They're basically telling everybody that you cannot spend Christmas basically with your family. They're telling you spend Christmas alone. And
they said the same thing for Thanksgiving.
They did. And you know what? I'm happy a lot of people didn't. Because the thing about this is, if you're taking now, not only are you taking away freedoms from people, now you're taking away things that make joy for people. Holidays.
I don't think that people are listening to any of that.
They're definitely not.
No.
You got to look at
like
the
people like me and you, like normal people, like they're not. Like I know a lady I work with is having like 25 people over for Thanksgiving, for Christmas Eve or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like she's like, oh, don't tell anybody, but like, yeah, like I don't disagree with that. So
you definitely could plan like 2 weeks after Christmas is the time frame where you just got to be really careful when you go out,
Yeah.
Because then after that, then
if you were all comfortable with the situation that you're going into,
January, second week of January, third week of January, the numbers are probably going to spike again.
The problem is it's a trickle effect, and it's you don't see it until it's fucking. You know what I mean? Like it's like when you're on the parkway and somebody hits the brakes.
Yeah.
The next person hits the brakes. The next person hits the brakes. The next person hits the brakes. It's the same damn thing, dude.
But we all get up together, like all of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we'll be, at a house, your house or my house or anybody's house that we're chilling with.
But it's houses now. I used to go to the bars and stuff all the time. Yeah. I haven't been out in a year.
Yeah, it's close to that.
I kind of like the house thing better.
I did too.
Yeah, because you know what? It comes down to creating your own bubble,
Yeah.
Like now it's like you have to be this is my bubble. You're good. You're good. Maybe not that person. You know what I'm saying? Like
the COVID check.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now it's like a COVID check. It's like anybody can make their own bubble and make it what they want to make it.
Right. I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. You gots to go.
Exactly. Yeah, but now you got to back into it where it's not like you're rude. It's like that
tested a lot of people though. Like who do you live with?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
Well, T moved in with you. During this whole thing, you trust T. I would trust T too. I trust you.
I get tested every 2 days, so I know.
Oh wow, damn, that's I didn't know that. You get tested every 2 days.
Yeah, that's why. Like if he has it, I know if I,
That's why Mizzy said you're good.
Yeah,
no, just keep getting those tests every 2 days.
As long as you keep getting them, and if you don't got it, I'm good.
I don't get tested ever, so
I haven't ever been tested either. But
no, fuck it. I don't know. And honestly, if one of us were to get it, knock on wood, we don't. But I think we would be perfect.
And like I have allergies though, so like some mornings I'll wake up and like I literally sneeze 50 damn times. My nose is running. And I'm like I can't. People are gonna look at me like I got a damn fucking extra eyeball.
No, I know.
You know, good point. I went to the store the other day and I bought some allergy medicine. I'm telling you, the cashier looked at me like I had two heads.
Yeah, right. She was like, I ain't taking your fucking money.
If I did this a year ago, they would have never blinked an eye,
Yeah, she would have been like, halls are in aisle 3,
No,
exactly.
No, but the part about it is, too, like when I'm in people's houses and God forbid I have to sneeze because people have dusty ass fucking ducts and systems and it gets all up my nose. I feel weird sneezing. So, like, I'll sneeze and then, like, I feel like I have, like, eyes on me. From all over, like the fucking camera just turned on. It's like looking at me like, who the fuck?
If your ass walked in my house and started sneezing, I'm gonna be like, get the fuck out.
Right. What you got, bro?
I don't care what you're fixing. Get out.
Right. Yeah, and people literally are at that point where like they're weird. But then again, once again, it's very individual. Like other
individual based.
People tell me don't wear a mask when I walk in their house. They're like, you don't have to wear that shit. I do anyway. Just God forbid.
Because you
have to be protected yourself.
Right.
Because then now you're like, should I really keep, you know what I mean?
It's a mental thing though. Like I feel like I would love to just not wear it. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, God forbid this person gets sick and then they're going to come back and be like, oh, well, this tech was at my house and he didn't wear his mask. That's mostly where I'm at with it. Because really, I'm not really up on the whole mask thing. And
but that translates like, so like you wore a mask for how many months? You have a kid, like that shit sticks. Like, like just they might not like you have visions or whatever the hell it is. No, it's real. Like you will feel almost normal. He'll feel more normal than you would have had.
Yeah,
wearing the mask just because of your your genetics, your biology. That shit's crazy, bro. Like there's a thing where I remember I read it. I always probably mess the story up. but it's where two like hens were in a cage, and one cage they flew a hawk over, the other one they didn't fly a hawk over. When the hen laid eggs, had its whatever the babies, they flew a hawk over the one that saw the hawk, and all the baby chicks freaked out. The one that never saw the hawk, the babies didn't react to the hawk in any certain way.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That is. It's it's an adaptation, and that adaptation goes through genes.
Exactly.
It goes by vibes. Like your family doesn't even have to teach you something; they get the vibes that they feel. Because
That's so true.
Marucci is the man. I wish he was here. He'd be talking about all those types of vibrations. You know what I mean? That's
frequencies and stuff.
Frequencies and vibrations. I love my man Marucci. That's what he talks about. But it's true. You get that off of people.
So talking about vibrations, I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, there's so many different species in this world. And when humans are one, and then you have animals, different animals. You got crustaceans, amphibians, like cats, dogs, like species in general. And the other day I was looking up something called a snapping shrimp.
Oh, the snapping shrimp.
So the snapping shrimp is something small. So when you think of aggressiveness in nature, I should say, or size, you think by the size it would be intimidation factors. So if the thing's bigger than me, I'm probably gonna run away at first, or because you try to size it up before you fight.
Yeah, size is intimidation.
So size is intimidation. So the snapping shrimp in general has one bigger arm than the other. And it's a bigger claw than the other. And its ability is it's able to snap its claw to shoot a bubble. So it's shooting air at something, which stuns it and potentially knocks it out to the point where it dies. So life is so great. When you think about something so small, being able to, fight and literally do a lot of damage. Like that bubble's coming at you like a freaking car at 60 miles per hour. Right. It's not like it's a bubble that's going to come at you at 5 where you can stop it. So it's incredible how nature works when you think of it at the end of the day.
It kills fish, man.
Yeah,
the fucking bubble kills the fish,
It can kill a small fish.
But when you think of a whole ecosystem and a whole kingdom, what do you think of being the top? Who's the top dog?
A bear.
Nah,
a tiger.
It's that pistol shrimp though.
That is the snapping shrimp. The pistol shrimp.
No, he got Pistol Pete. He got Pistol Pete coming off the bench, man. I mean, no, but it's crazy though, because like even I would think of a lion and how fucking
Fierce.
They're just so natural the way they fucking run and shit, and like they're so beast.
Yeah.
But when you put like size to power and shit like that, how is that thing overpowered? Like it makes a lion look like it's nothing.
Bro, it snaps a fucking claw.
How sick is that?
And it fucking kills fish that way.
That's awesome.
How? How the fuck does that happen?
It's equivalent of like a human looking at somebody snapping a finger, and there you go, you're knocked out.
Yeah, but it's all about underestimating your opponent.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I was looking up. Does it have anything to do with humans? Like, can humans be hurt by this?
I didn't go that far into it.
I actually, if you're allergic.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If you're allergic, then yes,
it can kill you.
If it's just like me, that's not allergic to shrimp. I don't know. It'd be like
get hit by a strong bubble.
Yeah, I don't know what
kind of
bubble.
Air.
Yo, but the fucking pistol shrimp, bro. That is when we were talking about this yesterday, and Miz brought it up on online when we were playing Call of Duty, and I was like, "What the fuck is the pistol shrimp, bro?" And he just would not tell me. So of course today I couldn't wait, so I looked it up, and I'm like, snapping shrimp. The fuck? This is the most powerful thing in the world.
Yeah. I was watching the movie. I was watching the movie, and they got into it, and they were in dialogue in the movie, and it was Jamie Foxx, and he started saying, you would think the lion is the king in his kingdom, and it's a pistol shrimp. And I was like, what in the goddamn fuck is a pistol shrimp? First thing I did was Google on my phone.
Right.
I'm trying to watch the movie still, but like Google, You do me right now. I need to know what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
You even played it back. I remember you turned the fucking captions on. And
I had to hear what he said because it was a little screwed in how he said it. So
he said it. Power.
Power.
Yeah, it's a crazy movie. It's about where there's a drug that they create that gives you like powers, but you don't know what the power is going to be until you take it. So like you could literally implode or you could be Iron Man. So like yeah, and it was a really good movie. It was based off his daughter's whole brain and shit. I don't even know, but the whole thing was Jamie Foxx was trying to get his kid, and it just went. It was a pretty cool movie. Yeah. But like that's where he made that reference about the fucking shrimp, and I'm like, there's no way this goddamn shrimp is better than a damn lion. You know, like it doesn't make sense. Like
in his kingdom. Per se.
In their own world, in a world of worlds, you know what I mean? In their world, that thing is, you know, you put Tyson and freaking Ali together, mix Conor McGregor, that's the pistol shrimp, bro.
It's weird, because even when I was looking online, like, it shows the action that the shrimp makes, and it's literally just claw up, claw down.
And it's fast as shit. It's like a vibration.
Shit, and the vibration makes this fucking bubble. It's like Aquaman superpower.
Creates a ring around it.
Like the shit makes a fucking bubble. And if it hits the shrimp or whatever kind of vibration hits the fish, the fish will die. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's just crazy how something so small could do so much damage.
Right.
You know?
Exactly. It is crazy. But, you know, enough on the pistol shrimp. This was an interesting to get into, guys.
Yeah, no, it was,
pistol shrimp.
you know.
But I
got
was
a special place in my heart now.
I know. Miz is in love with the fucking pistol shrimp, bro. I think forever that's going to be his spirit animal.
Pistol Pete.
I say we buy a little tank and get one.
Yeah, right?
I would.
We'll put him on the podcast. He'll just keep snapping.
It's like a little mascot. How much they cost?
I don't know. I don't know.
Free. You got to find...
How do you find a fucking... There's
Google.
no way.
Miz, that's your job right now. Go Google where to buy it.
I'm trying to find a pistol shrimp.
A live
right
one,
now.
not like one you eat, I guess. Can you eat a pistol shrimp?
Why not?
It's probably a shrimp.
I wouldn't want to eat one now. That's my homie. Fucking pistol shrimps are my homies, bro. Yeah,
everything to protect pistol shrimps.
Can I buy a pistol at 18 in Indiana? Can I buy a pistol with a DUI? Yeah, no, I'm trying to buy a pistol shrimp. Sorry, dude.
Nah, we're talking guns here, guys.
Somebody in Indiana has some trouble at 18.
Right, we're talking That's what that means. Bro.
We're talking constitutional rights here.
Right. Yeah, but that's all.
Okay, so you could buy a red banded pistol shrimp for 25 beans.
All about it.
Yeah, no, he's crawling around doing his thing.
Well, let me see that. Oh, that's real. Oh, you can really buy a pistol shrimp.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But it's a red banded, whatever that means.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Look up the snapping shrimp. I think that would probably give it better because that's what it's really called. I don't think it's really called a pistol shrimp. I think the movie.
I think it's the same thing though. I think it's like just like a
something.
Yeah, $35. It's like same shit.
Oh, all right. Well,
tiger snapping shrimp, bro. They're out of stock, but look at that guy.
Wow. So what? You just literally will have a shrimp that's like your pet.
Oh yeah, we'll let
it's
him.
like having a fish tank.
And we'll put something in there where it can go and snap.
Well, it's like people that have there's so many people that own snakes and iguanas and stuff like chameleons.
When we set up the studio upstairs, that's gonna be his home.
Snapping.
We're gonna buy one.
Pistol Pete.
How do you buy one through online though? Don't they die?
I don't know, to be honest. A lot of them are out of stock. I don't know. They must be not doing good.
Everybody watched that movie.
Yeah, everybody saw that movie and said, I gotta get myself a pistol shrimp.
Be a fucking pistol shrimp. The only annoying part is you hear that shit all night. Like all night long, you just hear the fucking... Like, what the fuck? Motherfucker, go to sleep, bro.
Snapping, man. I'm snapping.
Yeah, that's all he does is fucking snap all day.
Wow, this is weird. So, the tiger snapping shrimp has a most interesting ability to form a symbiotic relationship with many species of goby fish.
The fuck is a goby fish?
How the fuck is how do you know a fish is having a symbiotic relationship with another fish?
Bro, they can do anything these days, man.
Species adapt to each other, just like how humans adapted to cats and dogs.
Do they look similar? Do they look similar?
What's that?
The
I don't even know what a goby fish is.
I don't know.
Cats and dogs communicate with humans.
Goby fish and snapping shrimp. That's literally
they may not speak English or our language.
Fish and snapping shrimp.
Shut the fuck up. That's a big mic of fish right there.
Oh, look at that. They love each other. Look at that picture, bro.
They like cuddle. That's crazy. Wow.
That is I'm impressed.
That's pretty nice.
See, that just shows that they can live in harmony, and that shrimp would never snap at that fish. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna kill that goby fish.
Yeah, because like that's his boy.
That's his boy. I don't know. It's a little
That's
weird
crazy
for
that
being
they
his
have
boy,
like a
though.
relationship with
I
a
ain't
fish
never
like
gonna be
that.
up on you like that, Mizzy. So
If you
don't get
is,
any ideas,
we're
bro.
gonna have problems, bro.
Right. No, but they literally, the picture shows the goby fish is literally like cuddling with the shrimp.
That's nuts, man.
It is weird. It's very weird.
But that's nature. That's that's.
Yeah, nature's weird, man. Going into like more about nature, bro. Like you gotta think of like like what T was saying before, like cats and dogs and like the communication thing they have with humans is kind of strange by itself. Like how dogs listen to orders, but like they don't know English. It's just I think it's once again vibrations and sounds.
It's definitely vibrations and sounds. Like you could say your dog's name and they look at you. And they and they literally stare into your eyes.
Right.
Like dogs couldn't communicate with you or cats couldn't communicate with you. They're just gonna walk away even when you say their name 10 or 15 times.
Well, they listen, bro.
They listen for like key words, like saying outside to a dog. That dog's gonna get excited because it's going outside.
Right.
It knows what outside is.
Right.
So it just because they can't speak your language doesn't mean that they don't understand what's going on.
No.
And that's the same thing with language in general. Like you could go to a different country just because you speak English. They may look at you weird because they don't understand it, but you definitely could become, you could make a line of communication where now we can communicate.
Yeah, no, you definitely can communicate with other people even if you don't speak their language. Yeah.
So it's crazy when cats and dogs can do it,
Right, but like a dog, you tell it to sit, it sits. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. It's just very weird. But also, once again, it goes down to the adaptation over the years. Like these dogs and cats have been breeded to be one with people. And I don't think it's just an individual thing. I think they've actually learned over time to actually be with a person. You know what I'm saying? I don't know for a fact. Like I said, I don't know shit about nothing. I just assume it. Because you get a puppy, you with the puppy for a little bit. And then, all of a sudden you're teaching him how to sit and do this and do that. And hey, you want to go bye-byes? It like tilts its head around. It does a lot of weird shit.
It brings up a crazy thing that somebody told me before in my life. If aliens landed on Earth right now and looked at somebody walk their dog, who would they think would be in charge?
Probably the dog, some of them, walking in front a lot.
That's crazy, right? When you think about it, like... Right. People walk their dogs, they pick up their poop, and they literally cater to the dog.
Right.
Like, they would never have thought like
animal.
And that's just
because you take care of it, yeah.
Exactly.
So like
shows.
from afar, an alien coming down here seeing that be like, oh, this is like royalty. Woof woof bark bark, motherfucker. You know?
They're it's just weird how you think about it, how like humans have come to the nature of, animals are above us, and that's a beautiful sight.
Like there's an old lady somewhere with like 10 cats, and one of them named Harry is about to throw up all over the carpet. And, fucking Harry, you know what I mean?
But that brings up.
And that cat's like, yeah, fuck you, bet. You know what I mean? Fuck you.
Why you have 9 other cats?
Come clean up my puke, lady.
Wow.
No, literally.
I don't think Miz is a cat person.
I've had cats my whole life.
All right, but you're talking about cats.
I'm talking about I'm talking about Martha. That's had she's fucking got 10 cats peeing all over the room.
But cats and dogs are animals, yet humans don't treat every animal with that type of respect.
No. I get more upset when I see when I see like a dog like in pain than I see a fucking human.
But you went to the store today and bought a steak, right?
I did.
Oh, don't even get into that. Come on, T.
I mean,
cows are not animals.
Yeah, no.
What? They're
food,
animals.
They're food,
we look at cows as food.
Hell
they're
yeah,
animals.
I'll bite them. I eat my steak so rare I could just bite a cow and I'll be satisfied.
Cows have no meaning to us in life here.
No, but that's because we don't see them.
You don't have a personal relationship with a cow. No. I never have.
Well, it's weird for like farmers.
I mean, but I'm not saying it in terms.
Farmers are also a different breed.
Yeah, like if you're a farmer and you have a cow, you can love a cow and then still eat steak.
Yeah, I'm not trying to make a debate. I'm just trying to say like, how different.
It is different.
How we view different types of animals,
No, I agree with you.
Like anybody, like insects. If you think about insects, if an ant's walking across my freaking counter right now, I'm smashing it to pieces. And that's the truth,
That's right. Fuck that ant.
Insects. People think of insects as like how they like an infestation. Something that's gonna bother you.
No, yeah. My girl.
But those are species too.
If there's a cricket in our apartment, she is so scared of crickets. Like, if there's a cricket in the room and I'm laying down and I'm kind of like, fuck that cricket, I'll find him at some point. She will literally tell me, I'm not sleeping right now unless you go kill that cricket or I'm leaving.
I don't deal with rodents. I hate rodents.
Well, that's different. Rodent needs to be taken care of. A mouse or some shit like that. I'm always scared the shit's going to crawl on me.
Well, I was in Florida, bro. I'm literally in the bathroom. It's like mad late at night. Fucking goddamn little baby iguana thing on the wall. Like, he was like this big.
Little iguana?
Like a couple inches long. He was like a baby.
You wouldn't kill that,
And I was like, oh, no, you good. Like, I left him. Whatever you got going on.
We don't think of reptiles like that either, I feel
but I don't got iguanas in Jersey walking around my property. I got little mouses and shit. Like, they're everywhere. Like, those little iguana
amphibians.
They're
amphibians
everywhere, bro.
Got salamanders
everywhere.
Iguanas. You got cockroaches. There's a ton of cockroaches down there.
Yeah.
And they can fuck.
Well,
they
they're
can fly.
everywhere.
It's like the moisture.
And they
like
can
the
fly.
Area,
Those things fly down there.
I don't like that shit.
I would freak out if a cockroach started flying at me.
I didn't see no flying cockroaches.
They have them though. Maybe it wasn't the season for it, but they definitely have them.
I know, like in Jersey, a big thing is like deer hunting, because we have such a fucking outrageous amount of fucking deer that live around here, and like the biggest thing is like deer. It never fucking bothered me, man. Like, they're just like peaceful as fuck. They like to fucking drive. The only thing that pisses me off is when they get in the road. I hate that shit. The fucking deer in the middle of the road is annoying as fuck.
I've had bad experiences with deer.
They freeze.
Yeah, they freeze up when they see your lights. But it's the worst animal when they cross the road? Huh? Fucking geese, bro. They don't give a fuck. Bro, a goose or geese or whatever the fuck they are, bro, they will literally walk across the road for like 20 minutes, bro, and you can even drive right up to it and it will just stop and look at you.
Do you know why?
I have no idea why.
Because they're probably the babies of everyone.
What you mean?
They can't fly right away, so they have to walk everywhere.
Okay.
So the eldest of them all steps out first, and it stops whatever is there, and it allows everybody else to go behind them.
Oh, okay.
So they're protecting their own.
I get it, but like, bro, like they literally are not scared of cars.
They're not going to fly off the rib. Once they're able to fly, then they don't care.
Yeah, but they're literally not even scared of cars, bro. Like a car. Like you see a car coming.
You know why they're not afraid of anything? Because they were there first.
So were the Indians, bro. And look what happened to them.
I mean, that's not all laughing matter.
That is not. No offense to Indians on this show either. I say Indian. That a lot. You are?
I'm part Cherokee Indian, yeah.
You're the whitest Indian I've ever seen.
You see my mom?
Yeah. No, your mom's darker.
Yeah.
No, my grandfather is he's American Indian. I don't know what he is.
But you got what I'm saying though. Like there's always nature's a beautiful thing. Every animal is going to adapt to their situations.
Yeah.
And if a geese has to cross the road, it's going to cross the road.
Are you guys hunters at all? I don't know. Like you guys?
Nah, I don't.
I fish. Is it fishing hunting?
No. Fishing's fishing. I mean, that's different. So sometimes you catch a fish and you're like, oh, I could take this shit and cook it. You don't even think twice about it, And then that's how people look at deer. They fucking will kill that shit and eat that venison meat, whatever the fuck. I'm not a hunter either. I don't really like the whole hunting thing. I don't really find a point in it, but I don't ever discourage people from hunting, It's just it's a way of life. But transitioning a little bit now, there's some interesting news going on in the fighting world, which has become really relevant lately with all these exhibition matches and shit that's happening. Logan Paul is now going to fight Floyd Mayweather in February, which Mizz says might not happen. That's kind of what he said.
I don't know. I keep hearing both things. I keep hearing it's happening, it's not happening.
I think it's going to happen, and it's going to be something that's it's going to be stupid. It's Floyd Mayweather is not going to go hard on him, which he doesn't go hard anyway, but he's, it's not going to be anything big. I could see Logan kind of trying to make a stand for himself. But if he really goes too hard, he's going to make himself look stupid.
It's going to be scripted, kind of like the Tyson fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it will be like the Nate fight with his brother, where it was like they were really fighting. If you're fighting Floyd, there's stipulations that go into that shit.
Right. And then, you know, you have the other Paul, Jake, the one who knocked out Nate. You got him calling out Conor McGregor, offering $50 million to get into a fight with him.
Yeah.
And
Dana said that's a no-go, though.
That's a no-go. I wish, though, because I feel like Jake has such a big head, and now you want to get into a ring with, I know he's not a boxer per se, but Conor McGregor is a bad motherfucker. So I feel like that's just a bad move for him in general. You know, I don't think he should be intertwining himself into this unless he knows what he's really getting
money
into.
Though. They don't. At the end of the day, it comes down to the money.
Listen, you want to get beat up for $50 million, then go for it.
I'll
bro.
get beat up for $50 million.
I probably would too. But
What?
at least you're going against a defensive fighter. I know T has some things he was thinking about the Logan Paul fight.
So I mean, when it comes down to it, it comes down to influential actions. Mm-hmm. You know, Mayweather is an influential figure, and Logan Paul is an influential figure. So when you think about now them two coming into a ring together, combined, they probably influence over 80 million people.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of influence that goes into this.
When you make it a pay-per-view fight or something like that, how many of those 80 million people are going to buy the fight?
A lot.
And that's what it comes down to.
Right.
So just like when you think about UFC, when you think about WWE, when you think about those types of sports that have fighting in it, when it comes down to I get to pick my opponent because you have this much clout, that's when they make the money. And
yeah, but how about Jake Paul now? You know what I mean?
And when going after Conor?
Yeah.
When you think about that, though, it comes down to Conor has the same amount of influential power as, you know, Jake Paul. Yeah. Or even way more than Jake Paul.
But that's kind of dangerous, I think.
And I think that's why Dana White said no.
But think
about it. If Conor McGregor fights Jake Paul and makes more money than he ever would at a UFC, where's Conor McGregor going with this?
He's going with it as he just made a shit ton of money for beating the fuck out of somebody.
As an exhibition where it doesn't really go against your record?
Yeah. He has no, what is he has? You know, I mean, it's a lose. If he loses, if God forbid he ever lost.
That's the only downfall to it, right? When you think about it. At the end
I
of the day.
think he's confident enough, and I'm pretty confident in Conor McGregor enough that I know Jake Paul seems really bad. I mean, honestly, he did just beat up a 5'9" dude who had.
That's what Conor is. Conor's like 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah, but Nate Robinson's not a fighter.
No,
Conor McGregor is a fucking brawler. Like he'll stand there and throw hands with you.
It's all about the hype, man. That's all. You know, what could bring the most hype? The most hype is the most money.
I just want to see the next Mike Tyson fight.
I enjoyed watching that fight, man.
It was so dope.
I enjoyed it.
It was so dope to see, you know, Iron Mike get in there at age 54, and it was dope to see him go against, you know,
Roy Jones Jr.
No, it wasn't Roy Jones Jr.
Who, Tyson?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. My bad.
It was.
Yeah, I think I'm getting a little sleepy right now.
Roy Jones, yeah.
Yeah, Roy Jones Jr. You know, it was good to see them both do it. You know, I want to see Mike Tyson go against Vander Holyfield. I know if Holyfield's ready for it. He's been saying he wants to do it.
And this comes down to another thing now. When it comes down to people fighting against each other, like when boxers fought against, you know, the big name, it was always somebody that was on the come up that potentially could beat them. Yeah. You know? It wasn't now we need to talk about two people getting into a ring that maybe never you would have thought would fight each other, now fighting each other. That adds a whole new layer of popularity to the fight.
Yeah, this is like a video game. It's like Legends of Boxing.
Or what about Celebrity Deathmatch? Remember that? Yeah, you know, like I'm not saying they're gonna fight to the death.
And you think about like the Pauls, like they're masters of social media. Yeah, they're masters of their influencers. That's literally what they are.
They can potentially have started something.
So like they could make a trend way bigger than I know how much, you know, Floyd has, but like the Paul brothers have. It's a mass following of they influence a ton of younger people. Right. You know what I mean?
All by content.
Yeah.
Like Jake Paul out there, you know, he puts on fucking social media. He wants to fight Joe Biden. He wants to fight Donald Trump. Yeah. He's throwing shit out at Ellen DeGeneres. Like, he knows how to stir waves, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I like to be the guy who just says what the fuck I want, but he takes it to the level of just, clout. He just wants all the clout. I just want to speak my mind. He just wants to literally just talk shit and just try to get popular. Whatever, it's like throwing the kitchen sink at the wall and just whatever sticks works.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So if I go after this guy, and this guy, and one of them sticks, I'm just going to keep riding that coattail,
And the fact that it's two brothers now starting this like exhibition series of like fights with the best of them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a whole different world.
I mean, Jake Paul didn't fight Mike Tyson, but Mike Tyson was in it.
Yeah. Not imagine.
Imagine
that's the next one.
And how many people watched that whole that whole fight just because Jake Paul was in it?
Yeah. How old is Jake Paul? Like 22?
He's a little older, I think.
Maybe 20 something. I don't know.
Well, I'll pull it up real quick.
But T is the Google search guy.
It just I feel like this fight's going to be something for the people if it happens. Mayweather, he's an excellent boxer, but people are not thinking Mayweather's putting his reputation on the line for this fight.
I wish they would have it on the same ticket if they can get Dana White to agree for McGregor to fight him, and they get the clearance for Floyd Mayweather to fight Logan. I feel like it would be like
the Floyd fight is way more doable than the Conor fight.
So Jake Paul is 23 years old and Logan Paul is 25.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're young guys, I honestly, as much as I'm not a huge fan of them, I will say that, just their ability to create content and be entertainers in their own aspect is kind of, it's inspiring a little bit. I look at it as like, Jake has his whole Team 10 or whatever his like backing is. It's like his crew. You know what I mean? Like I look at that, that's kind of the influence for, starting the Reverse the Universe crew. You know what I mean? The six of us, we're six free thinkers. We just do things a little bit differently. You know what I mean? We're not here to, make like false fake shit,
But also
bullshit.
And it also comes down to now the Pauls are trying to create a reputation standpoint.
Yeah. No.
Because going into sports, that's something where people actually take seriously.
Right. It's not YouTube anymore.
It's not YouTube anymore. Like if you want to be a boxer, like when Jake Paul won against Nate Robinson, he was talking on pay-per-view to I forgot the guy's name, but he's always announcing boxing matches and that's you're on a big stage now, and he was acting like I could go on and fight the world.
He's feeling high. He's on his
he just knocked out Nate Robinson, but
Robinson's a basketball player. Like,
but don't you see like there's always a structure to things like that, and they just don't care.
No,
they don't care.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't care.
They don't care, bro. All their main goal is, and ultimately, they just make money, bro. That's all they do. They make money.
I mean, Nate Robinson was a pro amateur match. Like if Jake Paul went against actually a real boxer, which he potentially can go now because him doing that fight maybe brings the attention of a fight of real boxing professionally for him, and that maybe is a step for him to go into something different.
Well, he didn't look terrible, man. He doesn't look like a bad boxer. He got the basics down. Yeah. Sugar Ray Leonard is the one who trains him, so he
can definitely fight. I don't know what's going to happen when you put him in there with a guy on his caliber,
but now people are asking what's going to happen. So maybe the opportunity is going to come up where he actually does fight for real.
Yeah,
I mean that Nate Robinson fight wasn't for real.
No, but Floyd Mayweather with his brother Logan though.
That's gonna be something different.
Oh, that's gonna be something, man. Because I understand you're like, it's all about money and stuff like that. But Floyd is not gonna let himself lose.
So I saw an article. I saw an article today where Logan Paul was literally blowing off like my one of my guys like brought this contract for Floyd, and he was like, it wasn't for Floyd first. He said, who would you want to fight? And Logan Paul said like just messing around, Floyd Mayweather. And this guy really brought the contract back for Floyd Mayweather, and he was joking about like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And he actually signed it. Now he's fighting Floyd Mayweather.
Scary.
So that's what he said. At first he thought it was a joke.
Yeah, but that's scary for him though, because I don't know how mentally prepared he really. Because for one, he just lost. I don't know who he fought, but he just lost his last fight.
Was it KSI?
KSI, it's like he's from like from overseas.
Yeah,
he's
the
like
UK
UK
YouTuber.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, KSI, whooped him, and now you're gonna go from that.
I think that fight went decision.
Did it?
I think so.
But either way, you're gonna go from fighting a fucking international YouTuber to fighting an undefeated.
But I'm pretty sure when they both went into that fight, it was like they were both on the same level. Like they both never fucking fought, and then they created the beef, and then it was like, all right, we're both gonna train from right here.
Right.
And it was like they both got in kind of semi on the same page.
Yeah.
Where like that fight was like Nate wasn't even remotely close.
I mean, Floyd's not signing his paperwork. No, he's gonna lose.
No. And he's not gonna be able to hit him in the face, and there's gonna be a lot of shit. Probably.
He might have to wear. I feel like he should wear headgear and the rib gear. He should, because even though Floyd's a defensive fighter, don't get me wrong, he knows how to fight. He knows how to throw hands.
He's offensive, but you put him in there with any normal person, and
he'll fuck you up, man. He's not gonna. He's not gonna sit there and do his defensive moves. He does that against other professional boxers because he knows that they know how to hit too, and he doesn't want to get hit. But if he's going against fucking Logan Paul,
I think this is a warm up match for Floyd. I think he's gonna come back after this fight and actually fight for real.
I want to see him and Pacquiao part 2, man.
It could be. This could be his little fight. He's probably gonna use this as a warm up, especially for somebody who's fighting that's gonna be taller than him, as a ground to see if he still has it.
He does, bro.
And I doubt he's gonna lose this fight.
He barely got hit throughout his whole career. Like very few guys ever really got even good shots on him. Because he's just that damn good at what he does, man. Floyd Mayweather, as much as people hate him, when you talk about boxing, he knows how to fucking box. He's the most technical fighter probably of this generation, hands down. He knows how not to get hit, and he knows when to throw his punches. And he's not the brightest tool in the shed. I mean, not the sharpest tool in the shed. I mean. When it comes to normal things, I
don't think many fighters are.
No, but when it comes to fighting, the guy is precise. He's he's the encyclopedia on how to box.
That's facts. It's gonna be interesting. It's definitely we're gonna see something that we would have never thought we would have seen.
Right, it's always fun.
It's a new wave of boxing, though. I gotta say boxing was on a low.
Yeah.
And this is something where it can rejuvenate it, and if it takes off, where you could have exhibition fights rather than professional fights, you might see a lot of people cross over into things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'd much rather see a fight that I want to see, even if it's not, the champion of the world.
But it could also discredit
it does kind of discredit it. Yeah. But either way, I definitely would sign up to see that fight coming up. So on this episode, we're pretty much done. It's an hour, 33 minutes in. This was episode 4. Live from Tom's River.
Live from TR.
I'm here with the Mizz.
The Mizzalonia.
Mr. T.
Mr. T.
How you doing?
And your boy, Big Mike the Don. And once again, I'm going to say, I hope y'all have a good day, whatever day you're listening to this podcast. And reverse the universe.
Stay crispy, y'all.
Reverse it all.